Tech Tree Suzuyas, a new battleship with IJN Torpedoes, and my favorite map in the game is finally coming to high tier. This is a thick and juicy update. It's got a little something for everyone, I would say. So let's start with these Japanese light cruisers in early access, the Agano, the Gokase Amano, and the Shimanto. Light cruisers. You know, we have the Tech Tree heavy cruisers, so we can jump over here and take a look at what it's going to be. Basically, small caliber guns, lightly armored 25 mil, just like the Suzuya. The guns are a little different though, I'd like to point that out. I don't think they're as good. The reload time here is 15 seconds, Suzuya is 10 seconds. So these are smaller caliber guns. I think they're designed as kind of dual purpose AA guns as well, and that's reflected in the AA defense. That's a lot better than Suzuya. But the DPM numbers are not going to be as good, and the fire chance here on the Shimanto is 1% lower than Suzuya. Let's go look at those DPM numbers if you are curious. Here's Shimanto in the purple. You can see she falls squarely in the middle, 141,000, a far cry from Suzuya being the fourth best, the DPM monster at tier 7 basically. You get some more HP pull out of the deal. I'm not sure about the heals yet. What Shimanto also has is better torpedoes. 12 of them, but they hit really, really hard. 21,000 apiece. Again, we can jump over and look at the Suzuya's torpedoes and the Mogami at the same tier. Mogami Suzuya, they deal less damage than Shimanto's here, but what Shimanto's torps don't have going for them is they are not very stealthy and they are slow. So they have this big 11.5 second reaction time that is not good. Once again though, what they do have going for them is these crazy torp firing angles, and let's watch this clip and I'll show you what I mean. By the way, Robin did an insane job on this video. Okay, so these are pretty aggressive torp angles for a ship like this. You know, the Mogami line, the Ibuki, the Zao, they all have these rear firing torp angles. Well, these ships, starting at the tier 6 one, are going to be able to launch some pretty aggressive angles, and that's nice. That's something we're not used to with these IJN boats, so definitely something to look out for there. Maneuverability a little bit slower than Suzuya, but overall these are going to be squishy cruisers that you're definitely probably going to want to play from behind cover. Here is something else to look for. You know, if you're not able to turn it into a good agile cruiser, this stepped citadel is not good. You know, in the open water, if you're kiting, this is a bit of a shell trap right here and can easily get you killed. Other than that, they look like interesting boats and I'm kind of looking forward to them. Now, on top of these ships, there's lots more going on. The next thing I said, if you remember, was this battleship. It has IJN Torpedoes. It's called the Karl Johan, and I think that's how you have to pronounce it because it's Swedish. You have 12 305mm guns, decent secondaries if they give us good secondary range, and then the torpedo armament. The torpedoes are pretty cool. They're pan-European. That means they go super fast. They don't deal a lot of damage. They don't flood very well. And while they have really good, they have really good range. It's 13.5 on PC. I think we'll get it at probably 10 on our game, and they reload very quickly. So I think this ship, you know, turning, launching torpedoes on one side, turning, launching them on the other side, that's kind of going to be part of the playstyle, and it could be pretty good. I think the AP pin being 305s is not going to be good. It might be kind of an HE slinger as well. I am curious to see how the secondary range is, because if it's good, this could be a pretty fun ship. 1.8 Sigma and battleship dispersion as far as I understand it. This is kind of like a battle cruiser. It's not like super heavily armored. It does have a good turtleback armor scheme from what I saw. Not good belt armor though. Definitely have to be careful. And on PC, it has hydroacoustic search and really good concealment. I saw some PC guys have theirs at like 10.6. Very interesting. I think this could be a really cool campaign ship, actually. I know we've been complaining a lot about campaign ships, but this ship could be one of the good ones. For real, for real. And as in last update, you can play it in AI mode and still complete the campaign and get all the good stuff and get this ship for 2,500 dubs with Admiralty backing. I think that's kind of cool that they're letting you do that in AI. I never really understood how many players play AI, but there's a lot. For April Fool's Day, there's a new space event. Maybe like the Halloween event, you can get your boys together and go and play the event for some chances to win new ship skins, guises, and rewards. So pretty cool, I guess. Along with those IJN Light Cruisers, you're going to get a new historical commander, and this is great. These new historical commanders are a free opportunity for people to get different builds, and I love that. The base trait is going to buff those torpedo speeds and ship speeds. And this is important again because the torpedoes, like I showed you, aren't very fast. And also along with that, this is very important. Reducing the torpedo detectability by up to 200 meters. So if we jump over here and we looked at the Shimanto, 11.5 second detection, right? Say we buff that, 200 meters better here, and then let's just buff it up to 59 knots. So the torpedo reaction time gets a lot better. The chance to get hits with your torps increases dramatically with these, and then you also get some beefed up range. And then this one's pretty cool. I thought this was unique. The farther the distance traveled, these torpedoes will deal more damage when they hit. So if they're hitting at max range, they could deal a lot more damage. I thought that is pretty cool. Now you can unlock this doing the calendar, the advent calendar. And there's probably some more information on this if you want to look it up and read it for yourself. Also, I will link these patch notes in the description down below. So believe it or not, 5 years strong. This game has been going on, I think, since early access began. That's a long time. That makes me feel very old. Wow. But anyways, there's going to be some cool rewards. The people who have played the game the entire time, we've prepared a series of gifts for you in honor of the anniversary, including an exclusive Tier 5 premium ship for 5-year players, the Misor. Oh my gosh, if I pronounce that incorrectly, I do apologize. And we can actually jump over on the PC version of the game and take a look at that. So here we are. Now basically, it looks a lot like a down-tiered Fiji. Same kind of gun turrets layout, except one less turret in the back. They're going to have a little longer reload, but it's going to have a lot more AP penetration. So you're going to have to be more selective with your aiming, aim for lightly armored areas, upper belt, things like that, and just kind of take your time with your aiming. Now, the other thing about the ship is it has a creeping smoke screen, which we've only seen on the Perth in our game, the Tier 5 Commonwealth Cruiser. Yeah, I think I have a video of that one on the channel. But basically, you can go forward at quarter speed with your exhaust smoke running and stay concealed. So pretty interesting ship there. I don't know if that will be a good one or not, but it's definitely interesting. And then for those who haven't played for 5 years, there are still other rewards, so be sure to log in and check those out. New ranked seasons, if you're into that sort of thing, and a new steel ship, and this was definitely needed, I think so. Although I still don't have the Missouri or the Salem, so what do I care? But still, for a lot of players out there, this is going to be a good one. So the Tier 8 Dyson. This is basically a big battle cruiser. It's kind of like a Congo with 410mm guns. Let's go take a look at it. Big long ship, lots of secondaries here in the casemates and up above. 410mm guns with IJN accuracy, dispersion, however you want to phrase that, and a big torpedo armament that hit hard. I think there are 16 torpedoes, 10 km range. Now the thing about this ship though, and she has a pretty fast reload, the ship is not well armored. It has a pretty thin belt. It doesn't have thick deck armor, 32mm, and it's huge. If you can't tell by the picture, it's massive. So like the ship is going to be really susceptible to getting gunned down, HE spammed, and all of that stuff. So you'll have to be careful. What she does have going for her though is an insane top speed. And let's jump over here to our nerd charts and look at the Tier 8 battleships. 35 knots base, and it has a speed boost consumable. So it should be able to jump up to 40 knots in a straight line. Now, unfortunately, you pay for that with this 1100 meter turning circle, which is worse than the Grosser Kerr first. That is terrible, and a pretty long rudder shift time as well. So it's not a maneuverable ship. You're going to have to be careful with your positioning. But I mean, that's a good reload for 410mm guns. The HAP shells hit pretty hard, decent DPM, and the secondaries. The secondaries could be very interesting because the ship has a ton of them, a ton of secondaries. You have 16 140s and you have 20 127s. If they get a good range in our game, they could be pretty fun to build into, I think. Granted, the ship is really like a medium to long range ship just because, you know, about the squishiness of the armor, you're going to have to be careful with, but still, that could be an interesting interesting battleship at tier 8. 25,000 steel, good God, that seems like a lot. But anyways, global release for mobile. Now this is the part that I've been excited for this for a very long time. It's going to go live iOS and Android. You can now log in and access the game anywhere on the go, sailing seas, sinking opponents, blah, blah, blah. And I've been excited for this part because it means if I'm not near my Xbox or something like that, my wife and I are watching Netflix, then I could log in and do AI missions or things like that. I think that is very cool. We're going to see, I know the biggest fear is if there's going to be a massive influx of bad players and stuff like that. That might come with the territory, we shall see. We'll try to train them as best we can. The one thing I'm really waiting for though is to be able to sync my controller to my iPad because I'm just not good with the touch controls. I'm 32 years old. I'm a boomer. So let me plug my controller into the iPad, please. And then some various balance changes that we'll jump over to the balance article and look at here in a second. But there are some fleet things to look at. The thing that I thought was cool here is there's basically going to be a call sign visible next to your name in leaderboards, battle logs, in-game player lists, and post-battle results screens. So it's kind of cool. Get your fleet name out there. I like that. And then also it's going to make it easier for people to find fleets and for fleets to find people by having a looking for division style feature with looking for fleet. So pretty cool. Now let's go talk about those balance changes because there were quite a few of them. And I think it hits in all the right places. If there were 2 tech tree lines of ships that I would say are the worst in the entire game, hands down, Italian destroyers, hands down, French large cruisers. I mean, these are the ships that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Like, I'm a very casual player. If I'm going to log in and play this game, I don't want to play with a handicapped. I know some people like the challenge and all that stuff, and that's great. More power to you. Anyways, we'll get to those in a second. But British battle cruisers. Resistance is getting buffed by quite a bit, HP and AP. And then this one surprised me, the Hawk. They're saying that due to Hawk's increased Citadel vulnerability and longer reloads, she's not doing well. She's underperforming, which surprises the heck out of me. I've had such good results with this ship, and again, I'm a casual player. But anyway, she's getting a 3-second buff for the unupgraded guns and 3 seconds for the upgraded guns. That's pretty big. St. Louis. Ship is still underperforming. She was just buffed pretty recently, I feel like, but now her reload on the upgraded version is going to 7.5 seconds. So to kind of put this into perspective, you put Membelli on this refill station and then the main battery module, and you can drop this down to 6 seconds flat. And if we go look at our tier 8 cruisers, that's fast. So Salem is sitting at 5.5 seconds on her reload. So upgraded St. Louis will have a 6-second reload. And also the HP is being buffed up to, what was it? That's stock, upgraded 44,000. So again, up to basically Salem levels, in between Salem and Seattle. So pretty big buffs for the St. Louis. I went and looked at my stats on the ship. They were disappointing. Even though I feel like when I play this ship, it's a damage monster and I can deal a lot of damage, you know, the win rate isn't that great and all of that stuff. But still, now a 6-second reload with your reload booster and all of that stuff, and French AP and French HE, this ship could be something to keep an eye out for. Alaska is getting nerfed again. This ship has been changed more than freaking Vanguard. Reloads dropping down 2 seconds. They just buffed it to 18 from 20, I'm pretty for sure. And now they're going to make the ship easier to get killed. And the same for Stalingrad. It's getting the similar treatment. Those ships apparently are just being a little too tanky, too hard to kill. So there's that. I'm sad about this one. The Alaska right now is my favorite ship at Legendary tier. It's a lot of fun. In the arena season just a few weeks ago, it was very fun. And of course it was taken out by everybody because it's in such a good state right now. But hopefully she doesn't get nerfed too bad. Here we go. French heavy cruisers, they are getting their reloads buffed. They have painfully long reloads. Oof, but they're getting buffed a little bit. The Leone, this is a ship that I haven't touched since it came out. For good reason. She had a 9.5 second reload, 8 guns on a tier 5 destroyer. Like, yeah, that's cool, but what does it matter when they have a 9.5 second reload? Kind of like the Paolo Emilio. But anyways, it's getting buffed up a little bit. That could be interesting. And then the worst tech tree destroyer line in the entire game is finally getting some love, and I might actually go play them now. This SAP, like, it deals a lot of good damage. It has good pin angles and all of that stuff. So with reloads like this now, it might be worth checking out. Economy changes, blah, blah, blah. That's really cool. The part that I'm most excited about, some spawn reworks. So to kind of put this into perspective, let's go look at Shatter, which has some of the worst spawns. It just terrible. Let's go look at this image here. Okay, here is Shatter. So at this point, you know, all the ships basically are spawning like this. You got your red team here, and then let's say you got your blue team spawning like this, and basically everyone is just kind of playing really close. Like there's huge swatches of the map that don't even get utilized. So I think what they are going to do is they are going to move the spawn points out a little bit so that more of the map is being utilized. You know, you have more dynamic battles. Like, I think it's a really good idea. The other thing they're going to do, and I don't know if I can illustrate this, you know, on some matches you spawn and ships are kind of facing a certain direction, like a trap is a big one. So, you know, players tend to go in the direction they are spawned in. They're going to do away with that now so people can kind of make their own decision which way to go. I think that is a really good implementation. And then this, Straight. 2 new scenarios for Straight have been added, one for mid-tier and one for top tier. So if I'm interpreting this correctly, finally we'll get this map at top tier. This is my favorite map and I never get to play it. It looks like this. This is a really bad image. I know, I apologize. But only tier 5 ships I think can be here. I don't think I've ever been here on tier 6, 7, 8, or LT. I think it's a small map, but if I'm understanding it correctly, I think that is going to be super, super cool. That is a fun map. And also Tears of the Desert, no more Epicenter mode. I don't know, that doesn't break my heart, but also I kind of like Epicenter. Like it's fun on, what is it, Islands of Ice and Tears of the Desert. It's something different. It's definitely better than Capture the Base, that's for sure. At least people have to move forward and try to capture an objective. But yeah, anyways, those are the balance updates. I would be curious what you guys have to say about them. Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to sub, follow for more content, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.